So I feel like everyone and their mom makes a video about how you should start a YouTube channel and all those sorts of things. But I want you to know that this video is not how, right? It's not a how to start your YouTube channel, and it's not for everyone, right? It really isn't. It's not for everyone. This is a video where I'm going to talk about why in the world in 2011, oh, it's so old, why, way back when, I decided as like a second year teacher to get on this platform as a YouTuber, right? I did not think I was going to be a YouTuber, nor do I even think that now, but it's absolutely the platform that I chose to go on as a second year teacher when I decided to flip my classroom. So why in the world did I do that? Why did I choose this? Why did I even flip my classroom? Like what the heck even is that, right? So those are the things we're gonna be talking about today, and I am so glad that you are here for it. So let's get to it. Well, hey there, teacher friend. Welcome to my channel. I am Mandy Rice of TeachOnAMission.com and the Sustainable Teacher Podcast, bringing you weekly teacher content that is meant to inspire and hopefully reinvigorate your love for teaching, but doing it in a way that allows you to be a really good teacher and have a personal life. Because yes, you can have both. That's spelled B-O-T-H, both in a teacher's life. What's that? Well, we're about to figure that out. And I would love it if you would come and hang out with me on Instagram. Want to call it the Teachergram? I don't care. So we can get to know each other a little bit better and build out this thing that's going to be really cool. And as always, if this video is something that you're watching and you're like, nodding your head to, go ahead and like it and click that subscribe button so that you don't miss any of the videos that I have in the works just for you. Alrighty, let's get to this video. Okay, so as the title very well says, why did I start a YouTube channel as a teacher, right? For my classroom. I need to clarify that. It absolutely was back in 2011. Oh, there's that number again. It absolutely was me as a second year teacher making what was my flipped classroom, right? I started to flip my classroom. I put my lecture or delivery of my content onto a video and my students watch that at home, okay? So I flipped my classroom. That really is reason number one. Why did I start a YouTube channel for my classroom? Is because I flipped it. So what in the world, right? What in the world is that? Why would I flip my classroom, and what the heck is that? Well, here's the thing. I needed to not be the only person in the room who knew the things. It just got to be way too overwhelming. I was teaching an 11th and 12th grade advanced placement course that had so much freaking content, and I needed it to be in a much more I needed it to be more accessible. I needed the content and how my students accessed that to be outside of me, so that when I was in my classroom, I wasn't just standing there at the front of the room teaching to what was one, but really 30 students at the same time. That's not really best practice, right? And because I was delivering the same song and dance, because that's what we do, delivering the same song and dance 4+ times a day. And then a colleague of mine who taught it like 6 times a day. Whew. Could you imagine saying the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over again? All of you are like, yeah, I absolutely could, because I do. That's exactly what I do. I say the same thing 50 times a day. Welcome to teaching. But my thought was, if my students had me and what was the content delivery and the way that I deliver it, if they had that accessible, right, in a more accessible means, that would empower them to find the answer in a way they felt compelled to find an answer. Because that's one of the reasons I'm going to get to here in a little bit on why I chose YouTube, because they were already there, right? They were already finding answers there. But spoiler alert, I'm going to talk about that later. But the other thing was too, I needed more class time. So if we're talking about why I started a YouTube channel, reason number one, repeating myself, is because I flipped my classroom. Well, why did I do that? I needed more class time. Simple as that. To do the things again, right? To get back to doing the things that lit me up, that were cool, and that I really liked doing, which did not equate to delivering the same song and dance every single bell, but also, and probably more importantly, that also we got to do the things in my classroom that lit up my students. that got them more engaged than me just delivering the same song and dance, all while also building skills in them that me standing at the front of the room lecturing would never have done. Now, some of you are probably going to comment below and say things like, well, flipping your classroom is like the easy way out, or flipping your classroom, it's for lazy teachers. And I'm here to say to all of you who might be thinking that or might want to comment that below, you're dead wrong. You're absolutely wrong. And I have 10 plus years of flipping my own classroom and training thousands of teachers to do the same to prove you wrong. With all the teacher love in the world, absolutely. But I'll also say, not just that you're wrong, but that you probably haven't seen it actually work, right? Now, here's the thing, meaning you haven't seen like a successful in-action flipped classroom, because just because it's a flipped classroom doesn't mean it's successful. In fact, I would venture to say that if you flipped your classroom, you've probably epically failed before. And a lot of people who have flipped quit because they didn't do it very well, because that's the thing too. But here's the thing, it's also not for everyone. No, it's not. Well, yes it is. Well, maybe. Just kidding. It's not. I can't say that there's a silver bullet in education and that one strategy is going to solve it for everybody. Could it be a lazy person or a lazy teacher's way out of best practice and doing what's best for their students? Of course it could. Just like showing like episodes and reruns all the time or movies could be a lazy teacher's way out, right? But in those cases, flipping is not the problem, right? So let's not call it kettle black here. Like it's not flipping that's the issue. There's another root cause. So flipping is not for everyone, kind of. But it also certainly isn't going to be successful just because you implement the strategies, right? And that's where I hope that resources that I provide to you on my website, teachonamission.com, look in the description below, and some other things that we offer, I hope are helpful for you in making sure that that time that you invest in that is going to pay off. Because in the education space, it's not all about golds and shimmery glam and swag and money and all the things. I don't know. Is that a thing? I don't know. It's not that in education. What is gold in education is time. It's time. So let's make sure that the investment that you are making of your time and effort and expertise into flipping your classroom or any other strategy that you use in your classroom is well invested and you get a return on it. So look in the description, head to my website, you'll find some things. Okay, but let's get to the crux of the issue here, or not crux of, there isn't an issue. Let's just talk about what it is we're here to talk about, which is why did I start a YouTube channel? Meaning, the root reason really was because I was flipping my classroom, but why did I choose YouTube? Why didn't I just keep it as an MP3 file, maybe upload it to Google Drive, making it more accessible that way and easily shareable, and the great wide world didn't have to see it then? Well, for a couple of reasons. My students, mostly 10th, 11th, and 12th graders, were already on YouTube, like a lot, all of the time. They were going there to learn about the new shoes that were coming out for my shoe head people. And they were the games and how to play the guitar. And they were on YouTube learning. So I thought, there's already some context effects there. There's that shout out there is from my psych nerds. There's already some context effects happening there that optimizes that platform. So hey, if they're already there, I'm gonna use it. Less thinking for me. Reason number 2, my students had access to it at school. Now here's the thing, not all schools and districts give their students access. Some of them don't even give their teachers access to places like YouTube. It must be a very dark place. Who knows, right? But they had access to it at our school. That's not really a reason why I chose YouTube, but it's certainly a reason, I wouldn't have chosen if they didn't, right? So I just throw that in there to say that you may not be in a school that gives your students YouTube access. Now, what I will say is this, just because they don't, doesn't mean you couldn't benefit from also putting your videos on YouTube, even if your students never access it. And we're gonna get to why here in just a hot sec, right? Another reason was this, it was the easiest to embed on my website. Simple as that, right? So I used Google Sites and still do to this day, actually. All of the world is able to go, if you're in the AP psychology space, go to what is my Google site that I used to use for my students and now use for any student of AP psychology. And you can find all of my videos, a lot of my resources, all of that thing. So here's the thing. If you are a Google school, sorry to break it to you, or not, maybe sorry, not sorry, YouTube and Google are the same. They are besties. They're married. They're in bed together, quite literally, right? So they just work great together. So if you're a Google school, use YouTube, okay? Another reason why I talked about why I chose YouTube as a platform, but why did I start it in the first place, right? So we talked about, I flipped my classroom, the reasons why I chose YouTube, the platform, but here's what I didn't know would happen when I put my videos onto YouTube. And here's where I'm referencing what I was just saying a minute ago. Even if your students that you have in your classroom don't have access to YouTube, what I'm about to share is the reason why you should start a teacher YouTube channel. Ready? Are you ready for it? Get ready. You're gonna wanna write this down. All the other teachers and students, did you hear that? Students and teachers throughout the world were able to benefit from how I delivered that specific content. We all have different teaching styles, right? Like, it's a fact of life. And you know what? There are other teachers in the world who might want to use my videos. They might want to use your videos to supplement their own teaching. And now, because you have chosen to create your teacher YouTube channel and make it accessible so freaking easily to the world, they can now do that. Okay, let me give you we're gonna have a little story time here, okay? Story time. After about 5 years of flipping my classroom and having my videos on YouTube, and I had almost 1 million views. 1 million views. Rest in peace, 1 million views. So this is a little bit of a story time and precautionary tale, okay? I realized when I made my YouTube channel, I did it on my work, my school's Gmail account. Remember I said they're married? They are the same thing, Google and YouTube, right? So my YouTube channel was technically owned by my school district. And therefore, I could not, because it was my school Gmail account, I was not legally allowed or even physically able to monetize my channel. Reminder, 1 million views. Rest in peace. It just hurts me to even like say it out loud, right? And upon which I realized this, that is when I spent hours and hours either transferring my videos from my old channel to my new one on my personal, what is now business Google account, or just remaking most of them anyway. Oh, rest in peace, all of those hours that I should not have spent. So word to the wise, if you are going to start a teacher YouTube channel, do not, I repeat, do not use your work, meaning school, Gmail account. If you are a Google school, it could even be your email is at and whatever your like local school district initials .org, .net, .co, .com, whatever it is, right? It still could be a Google. So you probably already know this if you're here, and if you're watching this, you know if you're a Google school, but if you don't, you might want to just ask and be careful. Either way, don't use your school Gmail. Don't use your school email. Make it all personal, because you are a teacher who puts time, expertise, invests hours and hours of what was your college degree and your years of experience and clout and credibility into delivering this content in a way that only you can do it, because we all have different ways of teaching and different personalities that speak to different kids and different students and different teachers around the world. You deserve to get more than nothing for that, right? If you are making your videos, delivering your content in a way that only you can, you deserve to make more than free. I'm just gonna put that stake in their ground. So some people might be getting in the comments and hating all over that, like, no, it should be accessible to everyone. Well, here's the thing. It doesn't cost anyone to get on YouTube and watch videos for free. And yet teachers can make their videos not for free, because it takes them all kinds of time. Remember, time equals gold. Gold equals time in education. And you can convert that into dollars for free to others on YouTube. Huh. So you're welcome. In this video about how I'm talking about why, I'm also giving you a what not to do. In this case, learn from me. Learn from me, be wiser. Lastly, the reason why I started a teacher YouTube channel was because the barrier to start was next to non-existent, right? You have a Gmail account, which means you have a YouTube channel. You just gotta get on there. And when you make your video using whatever resources you have available. You got some slides, use some slides. You got a Screencastify or Screencast-O-Matic or Loom, or you got a fancy camera and lights and all the things you want to use. You don't have to, but you can. Go ahead and use that and then upload it to YouTube. Follow the little prompts. I mean, it really is just so easy, and boom, it's there and accessible to anybody and everybody. Now, some people might be thinking, oh, I don't know if I want to make it accessible to anybody and everybody. Get over it. You are a teacher and you are valuable, and what you have to contribute to your content area and to the education space is valuable, right? Say that to yourself in the mirror every morning for like 2 weeks and see how you start to change your tune a little bit. Build that confidence. You deserve space in front of students who want to learn from you. So give it to them. Give that to them, please. Now, some may be asking, well, what did you use? Like what did you use to, make your videos, like record, edit, and produce to an MP4 file, etc.? What did you use? Great question, and I am very excited to answer this. I have only used one software ever since I started flipping my classroom back in 2011. Oh, there it is again, right? Only one software. And that is because it is so darn easy to use from day one. Now, if you get into it and it's so foolproof and just ready to easily use for all newbies out there, you get into it and you're like, oh, I want to try something this time. And on my 10th video, I'm going to do this because I'm feeling a little more confident now. They have those tools to grow into, and that's really exciting. But even if you never use those really exciting and cool tools, the basic tools are so great and so easy to use. And again, I've been using them since I started flipping my classroom, so I highly recommend it. And that is through TechSmith EDU, called Camtasia. Camtasia is thebomb.com. And actually they offer, here's the real kicker, they offer a teacher discount, an educator's discount, and on top of that, if you go below in the little description where it says teachonamission.com/Camtasia, you want to click on that link, because not only are you going to get the educator's discount, but you're also going to get an additional 10% discount just for being here today and listening to me rant about why I started my YouTube channel for my classroom. All right, teacher friends, thank you so much for being here for what I am considering kind of like my debut back into, it's not really a debut if I'm getting back into it, YouTube video, because I love this space. I learn from so many people on this space, as do and did and always will my students. And I'm just happy to be here amongst my people, because my people are teachers. Now, here's the plan. I have got some really great stuff in the works every week. So the plan is to drop a new YouTube channel for all of our sustainable teachers out there every Sunday. So stay tuned for that. Again, don't miss a single one by getting subscribed so that you don't miss it. But also on Tuesdays, I've got a new podcast episode coming back. I took a little hiatus from the podcast as of like June 2022. It's November 2022 at the time I'm recording this. And so I'm getting back into it. So on Tuesdays, if you're on the bandwagon that is podcast, head on over and check out the Sustainable Teacher Podcast. So be sure to subscribe there. I guess it's a follow there. Subscribe here. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, right? Come see me on Instagram, and I'll see you here next time. Bye for now.